Hey, Wembley World Entertainment, and is Doctor Who about to get a lifeline thrown to it? That's the rumours doing the run now, but there's an interesting twist to this. Certain parts of this is being denied, other parts have been confirmed. The confirmed part is the interest. The denied part is that talks have already taken place. But then there's one big key element that has been announced that has not been denied nor confirmed, and it was the return of David Tennant. So here is the thing, you can see the headline: Stargate producer wants Doctor Who amid David Tennant return reports. We certainly hope to have discussions. Now, the idea behind them bringing back Tennant again isn't in the vein of, well, they just want to bring him back so they can do kind of the same again with like a Shooty Gatwa, what they did the first time around. It's very different what their approach is to this one, apparently, because this one, they're kind of talking about just absolutely, completely rebooting it. Look, I'm moving. Woo! Sometimes we just have little bits of fun, don't we? We'll have a look at this because it is interesting. Now, of course, for all intents and purposes, the BBC has cancelled Doctor Who. It is on a full hiatus right now, which it needs anyway. Once they start failing the way they did, you need to put them to rest and let it rest a bit. But you can see, after UK producers reportedly ran from Doctor Who tender, that's tender, not Tinder, Hollywood is raising its hands. Now, keep in mind, you'll hear a lot of people saying, well, the BBC can still fund this. True, and they can still buy it themselves with their other thing, the BBC Plus or whatever it is. No, they actually can't. They don't have the money from the BBC end of things, and the other thing, it's just kind of like a side part. It's not actually a completely different type of thing that can fund this type of stuff on its own. So Dean Devlin, the producer and co-writer of Stargate and Independence Day, that's Stargate the movie, by the way, not the TV series, and CEO of LA-based Electronic Entertainment, confirms his company wants to make its pitch to the BBC once the bidding officially opens, though he shut down a report claiming talks are already happening. So the report came out that he wasn't just interested in getting Doctor Who, but he was already in the middle of discussions with the BBC, which you can see here. This is the part they shoot down, is no talks aren't happening yet because tender hasn't actually opened yet, which it says here. That report via the Times also claimed Devlin wants to bring back David Tennant as the Doctor, which for now remains firmly in the rumour column, i.e. they haven't shot that part down, which is quite telling. It's telling that he said there's no talks happening, we are interested, but left the David Tennant part out. You think he'd have turned around and said, no, we're looking at different options, no discussion has happened about Tennant. So find that kind of interesting. So responding to claims, Devlin told Radio Times in a statement, it is untrue that we have had negotiations with the BBC, primarily or otherwise. When the proper time comes, when they are prepared to speak with people, we certainly hope to have a discussion with them. Now, I'm curious, with him wanting the discussions with this as well, I'm kind of curious, what's his company called? Entertainment, what was it? Electronic Entertainment. I think that's just a production company. I don't think that's a studio, so from what I understand, the BBC don't just want a partner as in someone to finance Doctor Who. They want someone to be able to distribute it abroad, like Disney Plus did. So if Electronic Entertainment comes on board and they're just a production company, I don't see the BBC realistically having full conversations with them, because how do they get it in the US and stuff then? Unless I'm wrong and they own like a distribution type of thing or something, I don't know. So the denial checks out on the timeline alone. The BBC hasn't opened the tender yet, and says details will be announced in due course via its e-scoring portal, whatever, who cares about that. So for the record, interest confirmed, negotiations denied. Interesting. I don't remember the BBC giving a timeline for when they were going to open tender. I thought when they announced tender, it was like immediately there, but I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Devlin isn't being suitable or subtle about wanting it. He previously posted an IA-generated video on Facebook showing himself alongside various former Doctor Who actors on the TARDIS set. Excuse me. So BBC is putting Doctor Who out to tender. Do you think they should partner with us at Electronic Entertainment? Well, again, it depends. Well, there's a lot of things to kind of look into this. It says here, Electronic Entertainment is the studio behind Leverage, The Librarians, The Ark, and Almost Paradise, and Devlin directed the Jared Butler disaster flick Geostorm. Wow. I'll be honest with you, Geostorm was actually a bit of fun. Yeah. It's one of those, it's so bad it's good. It really was. It's one of those, like, I wasn't expecting to actually enjoy this. I was enjoying it because it was so stupid. But yeah, Leverage, I know. Librarians, I know. The Ark sounds familiar. Almost Paradise. I've never heard of Almost Paradise. At least I don't think I have. What's that? If you know what that is, let me know in the comments what that is. The Ark does sound familiar. But it says the studio. So are they like a TV studio then? It's a bit strange, really. If the guys, I don't know. So notably, Devlin has worked with Tennant before, directing him as the villain in the 2018 thriller Bad Samaritan. Okay. So there's also new wound driving all of this. Devlin and Ronald Emmerich, who co-created the original 94 Stargate film, were executive producers on Martin Giro's new Stargate series at Prime Video, which got cancelled, with Amazon MGM abruptly cancelling in June before filming ever started. Yeah, it's just kind of strange the way all of this starts kind of getting broken down about it, but the way they're looking at it to bring Tennant back, as I said, it's not kind of bringing him back as the Doctor he's already portrayed, from what the rumours are saying anyway, so we'll take it with a grain of salt. But what the rumours are saying is the idea is to basically completely reboot Doctor Who using Tennant. So he would be a Doctor who would be there to basically pass off the torso. You get a familiar face, although from what we understand he's not meant to portray any Doctor he's previously portrayed, but will regenerate into the Doctor, I suppose, that will carry the series forward if it ever happens. The interest from the studio, okay, that's fine. You're interested, you got good relationships with David Tennant, all this stuff, you're clearly a fan of Doctor Who, that's all fine. But the reality, I think, will set in when they sit down and have conversations with BBC, and the BBC basically go, yeah, so we need you to fund all of it, and we don't really want you to have much of a say. We still want you to put in all of our garbage, but we definitely need you to fund it. That's where they'll kind of go, okay, and how much do you think it's going to be? Because they're not going to give a small number. They're not going to go, oh, well, we can do it on a budget of like 20 million or something. They're going to end up saying like, oh, we need about 200 million. That's what I think where this could all fall apart. It is also interesting that this is the first and supposedly only studio, or at least producer, whatever, that seems to be interested in it and has publicly said they are interested in taking it. It's weird that there's Stargate in the middle of all of this. From what I'm seeing and already hearing from Doctor Who fans, Tennant has kind of damaged his reputation with Doctor Who and with the whole previous seasons and stuff, and don't want him back. So I think even if they were to go, yeah, we'll bring him back, but he won't be any Doctors you've known and all this type of stuff, I still think audiences will just go, we don't want Tennant back. I think people would jump at the chance of getting Matt Smith back. If they said Matt Smith's coming back, I think people go, hell yes. But Tennant, now people seem to be kind of out with the idea of having him. So it's interesting. We will see what happens. Even if they were to be given the go ahead and they do get it, there's no indication that it's going to happen immediately. It still could take a couple of years for it to actually become something. But so far, Dean Devlin has confirmed interest in acquiring Doctor Who, but denies talks have happened because tender has not opened yet. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think about the idea of it just being a full reboot, that if Tennant or anyone comes back, it won't be as any Doctor you know? Would you want Tennant to come back? And how do you feel about Electronic Entertainment being a company that could finance and put this thing out? Let me know in the comments. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit that hype button, all that good stuff. Make sure you're still subscribed. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.